do my dance. Alright, so it seemed that my video was only 21 minutes before, but whatever, it was a perfect break for part 2. Alright, so now since I have finished the JLPT 5 test, now I'm preparing for JLPT 4 test. I'm a big fan of, not tests so much, but just kind of do this and then next do that. You know, goals and all that. So for JLPT 4, my study plan or material is going to be part 2 of Genki. I like the series and I like the color. So the workbook and this. And the apps are cool because the apps contain both books. And where is it? Well, the answer book is also both. I don't know why I didn't just put the answers in the back. Okay, and I got this kanji book, which is essentially all these kanjis and then a whole bunch more. Because the thing with kanjis, for me, yeah, I wrote them and I remember them, but it's not like I'm using them and they're just going to float out of my head. So my idea is if I read this book or I do this book, then even though I've seen them, it'll just reinforce what was already put there, if that makes sense. Okay, so those two. And then grammar was kicking my ass, just kicking my ass. So I got a dictionary of basic Japanese grammar. But then it's like they're always explaining things in English and my grasp of English is not the best. I know, I'm an English teacher, but it's not the best. I'm not afraid to tell you. So I got me a little pocket English grammar book, and then I got another kind of grammar book. So I found I could have added this to the how my life has changed. By studying Japanese, it is helping me to become a better English speaker, or more aware of English grammar, which will make me a better English teacher. Which is weird, you know, because I'm studying Japanese and now I'm becoming like that. It also makes me more sympathetic to Japanese or any people who are learning a second language, because before I'm just teaching it, and I would say stuff like, why can't they get it and why don't they just speak it and da 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 da. But now I'm on the same boat, and I understand it's hard, you know, you're thinking this way and then it's always, why do they do that? And you know, foreigners might say, why do Japanese do that? But if you ever thought about our own language, why is it like that? Because we're a big melting pot, and we have British English and Canadian English and Australian English and American English, and then you got your slang, and then you got people who don't know how to speak English, but they speak it anyway, and then all this is mixed together, and you the person who's trying to learn English, is all like, why? And so yeah, now I understand. That's the sound for what I understand. You see? So yeah, it threw me off, man, but we gotta keep on going. We gotta push forward. So yeah, so now I'm more sympathetic and apathetic and any other thetic word, prosthetic, that towards the whole language thing. And what's interesting is, you know, I teach in a junior high school. The kids are from 11 to 15. What they are learning is basically what are in these books. Well, you don't need to see the books, but or what's in the book. So the lesson plans that I'm making for them are the same lesson plans that I should know, or that I'm learning. And you know, in a lot of cases, these kids can do what I can't do in a foreign language, because you know they've been learning it and all that. And it's kind of sad because they're like 11 years old, and my comprehension is below a 11-year-old. But you know, I'm learning, and this is the first time that I started to, you know, really seriously do it. So I'm not like whatever, but it does make me feel kind of. But as I said, I'm learning. Also, I didn't read this yet. I just got it when I bought all the other stuff because I saw it there. And it's a magazine that's basically written in English and hiragana and some kanji with translations about random stuff. It's weekly. They got apps and they got audio. So, you know, the second part of my what do you call it? My studying is I need to read real stuff. I mean, this isn't real because they kind of made it foreigner friendly. But it gets me used to seeing kanjis outside of the scenarios the books makes. And then I picked up some of these. This is like 200 yen at a used bookstore. So just little kids books where the kanji would be easy with little furiganas on top of it and whatever. And you know, I like to read, I like to think, so I got this book, Galileo. Actually, I didn't get it. It was given to me. It was a gift. But you know, basically in Japanese about some serious shit. So this way I can learn, you know, help me build vocabulary, help me with the grammar, help me get my mind all Japanese like. And this is nothing special, but I got me a blank thing. Halfway through I was studying and I didn't take any notes. I'm just going through the book. I was speeding through the book. Then I got to chapter 9 and I was like, damn, this is overwhelming. So I went back and I wrote down all the points of each chapter to kind of refresh it, because everything's kind of building on top of each other. And then again I was like, you know what, the book is going past level JLPT 5, so it's not so important to know this. But I finished the book just so I finished the book in 2 months, like, just to say that. But so from the beginning I'm gonna take notes and I'm gonna fill up books. I got a lot of these books. Alright, so that's, and then the plan is the next time for a test is December 5th. In Japan we get 2 times to take the test. So that gives me about 7 months, 6 months, give or take. So I'm going to focus on that, finish my books. In the summertime I'm planning, I mean it's almost 90% already done. But I'm planning to go to a little language school where 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. we just talk. Because, again, another point, you know, a lot of, I didn't say this because, but, you know, sometimes we, as in everybody, say that in Japan, Japanese people don't speak English so well. And they're so good at writing, but they don't speak. Well, I'm in that boat too, because, yeah, I'm studying, but I don't want to speak. Because I don't have enough everything. I don't have enough confidence. I don't have enough grammar. I don't have enough vocabulary. And I've been here 9 years, so I bought shoes today. I walked in there and I was like, I want shoes, and he was speaking in English, and I was like, da 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 da. You know, so anytime it's like, whatever, I'll just gesture it up. I want shoes that are 28.5, and it would work. But I want to get to a point where I don't have to do all that. And slowly, I'm getting to that point. Like I told you, if you remember. In the morning, I get bread and from the convenience store. And I want it to be warmed up. Like nice warm bread in the morning with some iced tea. And before, I would just I go to the same store. So the first day I'd say I want warm bread, they look at me, and then the second day they remember me and they just put it in the microwave, and the third day. And after a month, all the staff are aware of the guy who's coming in here. And if they don't warm it up to where I like it, I'm going to come back and say, it's not warm enough, moichido. And then they're just going to get used to it, so they tell everyone, he wants it warm by 15 seconds. So I don't need to speak anymore. But I learned how to tell them to warm it up. So I walked into the store and I said, hey, warm it up, I said in Japanese. And he looked at me like, huh? What'd you say? And I looked at him, warm it up. This is Japanese, warm it up. And he looked at me, huh? Now I could have pointed at the bread and pointed at the microwave, but I looked him in the eye and said, warm it up. Now this is nice, I'm not like yelling at him, just I said it in Japanese. He's acting like he didn't hear what I said. So I said, warm it up. And then we're going back and forth, and then he looks at the bread, oh, you want it warmed up? He's like, yeah. Like that kind of thing. It's annoying, and it bothers me because I'm saying it, someone taught me the way to say it, and now I'm saying it, and you're looking at me like I'm saying something different, but I said it, and you're trying to say my accent is so off. Maybe it is. Maybe he's deaf. Maybe, but anyway. So I'm hoping after my little 3 weeks of talk, I'll get to the point where I could start pulling all the grammar and vocabulary and stuff into my head and formulating some sentences that, whatever. But yeah, so I feel good, and as I mentioned, my summer vacation starts in 2 weeks. So I have even more time to dedicate to studying. And you might be thinking, wow, Ryman, you have so much time. Well, that's because I don't have a life. All I do is work, sleep, poop, study Japanese, eat chocolate. So what about the music? Well, the music's in my heart. And I listen to music. But if I focus on music, then I can't, my mind just works that way. It's either one or the other. And then once it's all settled, like, eventually, I'll be able to rap in Japanese. That's another goal. And then I could go back to doing music, and I could pull in the MBA and the business I learned, and all of it could just be mixed together. But for now, gotta focus on one thing. For me, maybe other people can do 50 things at the same time. Me, I'm a one guy at the anyway, so that's kind of the current plan this year. December, level 4, and then mosey on level 3, but I want to skip level 3 and just go to level 2, and then the following year. And then you say, what's after level 2? You go on level 1? The plan is after level 2, and the reason I say level 2 is I want to go back to school. You say, man, you always go to school. You love school. It's not that I love school, but school is a tool where you can enhance your network, enhance the things that you know, meet different types of people, and have more doors and opportunities open. So the school I want to go to is called Shobi. It's in Shibuya, and it's a music school. It's like a university. So they have how to learn how to play the flute and how to dance and those type of things. Then they have music business, which is one course I might be interested in. And then they have entrepreneurial music enterprise or some shit like that. Google it if you want to know the exact terms, which is a 3-year program where they teach you how to make the new type of things, like a Spotify. I mean, Spotify has been made, but things like that, future stuff. Maybe the music business is more, this is what is, and this is what we do, and that one is more. But I can guarantee, well, I can't, there's no guarantees, but for the most part, and what they're really pushing is, once you go through this school or program, they will place you, or at least get you interviews directly with Sony, Avex, and all those people. Whereas my other business school, there was nobody. I mean, there was one guy who worked for Universal, but I never met him. And but for the most part, at my business school, it was mostly people working at non-entertainment related things. So when it came to, yeah, man, I'm trying to do business, they would always hit me with the, well, business is music is music and business is business, because you see, you gotta love from the creativity, like that. And it would drive me crazy, because at any business, there's a guy who's an accountant, there's a guy who's a finance man, there's a guy who's doing the marketing, and all these pieces are in the business school. And if you ran a business from your heart on some creative, we're not going to worry about the numbers, you would lose money. And it's a fact that record labels spend super amounts of money, and only the top tier can recoup, or only the top sellers are covering the expenses of the other artists who are not doing so well, and these are big names. Like, I know this, and I was expecting that they would know that too. And I mean, this is kind of off the track, but I just want to throw it in there. So I did my presentation, and there was this guy. He was a venture capitalist type of guy, and I was saying that I want to sell the experience of rhyming gaijin. He said, "Who's that?" I said, "That's me." And I tried to explain this business model that I came up with, and he said, "Why would anybody want to watch you?" And he said it like that, in a condescending type of way. So I said, "Well, people watch me. People like me." "But who are you?" he said. I said, "I'm rhyming gaijin." And we went back and forth, and I tried to, I printed some of the comments that some of the people have written to me, and they're all like, "Well, that's not quantifiable data." And then basically he just said, "Get the hell out of here." No, he didn't say it, but he's like, you should go send your demos to Sony and audition in the And then they moved on to the rest of my classmates, and they gave them real feedback, because that's just a sidebar. I didn't share that, and it really pissed me off because they didn't even give me a chance. Anyway, so this school is going to be actual people who are in the music business, who actually will say stuff like, well, so what's your marketability point? And I don't know what you're going to say, but so that's one thing. Two, the school is in Japanese, so I have to be level 2 to enter, to even be considered. And then for 3 years, I'm just going to be taking the classes, writing in Japanese, listening in Japanese, and speaking in Japanese. So in 3 years, I should mosey on down to 1. And that's right around the Olympics, so hopefully everything pulls together. The language is there. Now I'm actually in a prime position where I could be put where my music can be heard, or my influence, or my production, or my managing, or my whatever, could be whatever. Japan right now is number 2, America number 1, maybe UK number 3, I don't know exactly, but Japan is number 2. So it's still a big chunk of entertainment money, and there's so many artists, and you know, one of my things is I want to help people get to it, so I could be in a key position to help some artists get their thing popping, or make a Def Jam. And now I actually have some contacts where I can say, "Hey man, what's up?" So I'm really excited about all this. The only thing that's making this kind of difficult is not the language thing. The language is, you know, I'm moving at my pace. 2-3 years, I'll get there. It's money. I always tell people, if I had money, then I'd do it. It's not a... Like, I would go to Japanese school for 2 years, 9 to 12, and then do like a 5 to 9 every day if I could afford it. If somehow I could. And you're probably, you should make a fund me. I'm not making no fund me or no Kickstarters, all that shit. But I don't know if I had the money, but I don't, so I need to figure out how to get it. Because there's only so many hours I can work and study and sleep and poop and eat chocolate and all that before I burn myself out. And being burnt is not going to get me there faster. But I don't know, I was checking out scholarships. There's a lot of scholarships for African Americans. So I assume if I send an email to some of these organizations in America and be like, listen, I'm an African American living in Japan, and I make inspirational, sometimes they're just bullshit, and other times I'm just talking. But I haven't made any in a while, but the last couple were inspirational. But that won't be in the letter. So back to, I make inspirational videos, and I'm trying to pursue a career in higher education. I have my MBA, and I'm trying to learn the language so I can portray that African Americans are more than what they see on TV, and slowly I will change the culture. So can you give me $60,000 for 3 years and sponsor me? Somebody got to be interested. But this is kind of legwork. It's not like you're gonna just go on Facebook and type in your header and say, I need help. That's a pet peeve of mine. I'm not going to get into that one. But anyway, I think I said everything I need to say. I guess I could end with, you can do anything. That's true. That's what I have as my tagline in my email. If you ever get an email from me, yeah, you can do anything. Anything is possible. But it's not a but. Maybe it's an and. You have to work for it. You need to find some way to make working for it fun, or working for it workable. So for me, studying Japanese was never fun because all the things that most people do with their Japanese wouldn't appeal to me. I don't want to watch no manga. I don't want to watch movies. I don't want to watch dramas. I don't want to go watch concerts. I don't even want to talk to Japanese girls in Japanese if they're not on the same vibe as me. You know, just because they're... I mean, I had, in my 9 years of being in Japan, I think I dated or talked to 3 Japanese girls that didn't speak any English, or very little. And it was interesting, but, you know, every day I wake up with some deep thoughts, and they better be some deep thinkers. Otherwise, it's just going to be a waste of time. And if anyway, that's me. So I found that a way to make studying Japanese fun, interesting, and connected to some bigger goal. I mean, Japanese is just one piece of another puzzle. Like when I get the money from these scholarships who are out there, and when I get accepted into this school, Shobi University, in 3 years, and when I get to level 2, I still got to work my ass off and do the coursework and compete, or not compete. Well, maybe I'm competing with my future classmates, but I still got to put the work in. And, you know, who knows what the future may hold. Today is, I'm saying this, but tomorrow, God forbid, one of the things that could happen, or will happen, and then everything I just said right now is going to be derailed. And so, you know, all we could do is keep moving. So, back to you. You can do anything, but we got to work at it. A lot of people want to take shortcuts. And, you know, usually when you take a shortcut, it actually ends up being longer. A little shortcut sidebar here, because, you know, for example. So when I'm driving with my brother, when, you know, he lived in Japan, back in the States, we'd be driving somewhere, and there'd be all this traffic. So I'm gonna take a shortcut, and you go pew, 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 and we get there late, and then when we get to the places, man, there was all this traffic. No, that's not the case. If you stayed in traffic, yeah, we're moving at a snail's pace, but we are moving. And we would have got there on time. Plus, go a little bit earlier. You know, to each their own. But, you know, just pace yourself. For some of people who watch me, they want to come to Japan. That's their burning desire. Well, Japan's not going anywhere. From what I heard, I think it's going to be around for a while. So you don't need to rush, and everything that you see is not going to disappear. I mean, yeah, you're coming for the Olympics. It's going to be here and it's going to be gone. But there's more to Japan than the coming Olympics or whatever is happening at this moment. So, you know, you just take your time. Alright, so I think this video is over. I don't know. I got a new camera. Some people are asking me what I shot with the other two videos. I used a Sony A7, and the lens was wait, 270 millimeter to 200 millimeter, and I think the f-stop was 4 or something, and it was nice. You were surprised. I was surprised because it's pretty long, so there's no way I could hold it or whatever. So I put it on a stand, and then I set it up, and then I walked over there. I'm a one-team person here, so I gotta run back, and then I gotta make sure it's in focus. So I was dropping pens on the street and walking back and walking forward and walking back, and then when I looked at the test shot, it was like, wow, that shit is sharp, damn. And then so I shot the video, and it was really nice. Right now I'm in the house, so I don't have all this time, and you know, I'm trying to do this video in a one take, so no editing, because tomorrow is actually, I start studying the next book. So my break time is now, which I'm making a video, which is technically not a break, but if I don't make the video now, the next time you'll see a video is going to be in December when I come back for the next test. Yeah, so, but, well, it's not a but. I guess that's everything. So let me, get out of here. Thank you for watching. And, yeah, rhyming. Cue the music.